So hey everybody, and welcome back. We're going to do another set of ATCs from their swap. This is part 2 basically. I took the same paper pad that I did in the previous set of ATCs, which is the Midway one, and this time I took all the ivory colored papers. Same as before, same exact ones, cut them up. This time I didn't mess up and I actually made 9. We're going to attack this a little bit differently. Instead of going through and doing all the lighthouses and stuff like I did on the previous one, we're going to use a different stamp set completely. Just let me get a good background for you. And we'll use ones like Break the Rules, Live a Good Story, Life is a Song, Sing It. You know, this one, we're going to stamp it and then just kind of free cut it out because I don't have a die cut that goes with this one. We also have some background stamps that we're going to be using. These are a 6x6, and obviously we're not going to be using the whole 6x6. So this one's Watercolor and Scratch. So 2 fun ones. And we're going to be using that with our powdered elements and then stamping and having all kinds of fun. So I'm going to start with this particular one. This is the watercolor background stamp. And I think I'm going to use the Zest on this one. No, I think I'm going to use jack-o'-lantern. Change it up because I pulled out an ink or a mist. And the mist is, I didn't want to use yellow on yellow. I may yet come back to these in a little bit. So because I don't have a giant stamp block, I am just going to use the plastic this is coming from to do this. And I'm not going to use all of it. We're basically making layers. So I'm going to show you one and then we'll continue from there. And I may not use the same corner on all of them either. Oops. Just don't drop it like I did. And just, if you want to put a couple of them next to each other, that way when you come in and do, we can do that. And I'm not worried about full coverage. It's not the point here. Just come in and kind of stamp. And it just creates kind of a cool background. Very haphazard looking. Let's go the other way now. And I'm going to keep layering them up like this. All right, so what I've done is I've just taken a paper towel because I'm going to do a couple of different layers here. First, what I'm going to do, and just trying to save myself some time, is I'm going to take my stencil here and just layer it up like this over the course of a few different, and I might even turn, no, I'm going to keep this one straight. Just go ahead and layer that up here. I have a second stencil, which is a series of dots. Move it over and just layer it up here. And this is just a fast way of kind of getting some stenciling done and kind of attacking this. I'm going to take my sticky glue pad and just add the glue over top of the stencil. Right, hold your stencil so it doesn't wiggle around like mine just did. And the glue part's going to go through. Let's go ahead and add the dots to this one. And now you've got glue on your thing. You need to wash these because they're covered in glue right now. Cover up your sticky glue pad. I should kind of squeeze in place. And now what you do is you're going to take these are powdered elements, and I've got 3 colors. I've got gold, silver, and bronze. And let's start with the bronzy one. And I have a dedicated brush, specifically, I have 2 of them, specifically for doing this, where you can dip it into the powdered elements and you find where if you can see, you dip it in and you just rub it across where the sticky part is. It's going to be picking it up. So you can already starting to kind of see where it's getting on your card, just as you see here. And I'm not looking for perfection. I want it to be kind of random and all over the place. These are very mixed media kind of projects. Now, this is another one where this is one of the spray mists that we have, but I'm going to add something to this real fast. We have these new mixed abilities and these little ball bearings you can add to any mist. It doesn't have to be to Brutus Monroe. It can be for anything. And you just take one. I can grab one. It can be tiny. Pop it in. And when you're done using that mist, before you throw away the bottle, you can recollect your little ball bearing out of there. And it serves a couple of purposes. One, the most bottom of the mist, there's all these micas and chalks and stuff. As you swirl this around, guess what's helping mix all that up? That little ball, it's swirling. You can do circular patterns. You can shake it back and forth, and every time it moves, it's helping stir up that mist, which prevents this from clogging so much, because the straw that's down at the bottom is down there, and if you don't kind of shake up and stir up all that beautiful chalkiness, then it's going to get kind of clogged in your sprayer. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some light sprays. I don't want to overdo it too much. If I get splotches on there, great. Just kind of adding another layer of something. I want to get some little splatters. Just add another layer of stuff. So now I'm going to let these kind of dry, and we're going to work on the next phase while this is drying. So I just take my mat, I drop it on the floor, and work on the people. So right here I have some sheets of scratch paper, of which I'm going to go ahead and start stamping all the ones. I'm not doing the happy birthday because that's not the point, but all these other ones are really cool kind of lifelong stamps. And some of them I end up doing more than once. All right, so I went ahead and stamped, and one of them I actually ended up getting 2 stamps on one. And some of them I didn't, but I tried to do them on different colors, as you see here. This one was just trying to give me an extra one, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, one short. We'll figure that out. At this point, I'm going to, I like my fussy cut scissors for this, fussy cut these out, not perfectly, but enough so that they're not just big squares. So one of the things I did for this stamp right here, the Live a Good Story, is that for the other ones that I did, I actually cut them out so they would be 3 separate words, and I could place them on the ATC however I want instead of making just like a big giant rectangle. And so I had more strips of paper left over from all the ATCs I've cut, so I just made sure I stamped the Live a Good and a Story on 3 separate so they were fully, and then I just cut them out as if you would never know that it was on scrap. So I have my 9 now. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start taking some of the little strips of paper, and I might rip them and add layers. Some of these are already little strip pieces from when I cut out this stuff, especially little straight edge pieces. I'll end up using those more. And then I also have some burlap and some flute paper, a little cardboard from that Midway pack that we, from here. So that inside here, there's actually little corrugated cardboard pieces and some burlap pieces, of which I've already cut some out from the last time. So I'm gonna continue using that. So layering up more layers here. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of our glue, and sometimes I may use a piece that has a layer on it, and just adding some strips. Doesn't have to follow in anything specific. I'm not worried about any set pattern right now. I'm just layering up. All right, so what I'm taking now is a little bit of the powdered elements. I'm just going to take a little smidgen right here. I'm going to take it in the silver just for a difference of color. And I'm going to take a little bit of our light paste. No, this is just my light paste. That's way too much. And I'm going to blend. All right, so I've added the 2 colors, and it's created like this silvery bronze. Well, I added the bronze and the silver, and it's created kind of its own, like almost like a rose gold in a way, kind of. And I'm gonna go ahead and use these same 2, just like I did before. I still haven't cleaned them, and that's fine because I'm about to get them all gross again. Now I'm gonna lay them out 4 at a time, and then just take it and then just add some layers on here. I'm not too worried about how perfect they are. They don't need to even be in any specific shape. Just adding some more dimension. Just like that. And so some of these already had dots, some of these already had lines. It's just a mishmash. Add this to my must clean pile. These off to the side. I am gonna spray these, so I need to make sure I don't get I'm not spray these, sorry. I am going to heat set these. So I'm gonna get them set up ready to be heat set. still have some paste left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Zest re-inker, shake it up, and I'm going to add it to here and create another fun color. And it's just going to change it just a tiny bit, not a ton. And if I don't like that, I can always go back and change it again. But I feel like I've got a lot in here and I don't want to waste it. So there we go. We change it to kind of a yellowy pasty color. So now I'm going to go in with the opposite ones. And again, I still haven't cleaned them and I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take all the dots, the ones that I had dots on, and I'm going to add stripes and kind of flip them. So if it seemed to be that there was more dots on one side, I'm going to flip it so I can get the dots on the other, the stripes. So see how these are kind of empty? So I had them reversed and I'm going to flip it. And I think I even had it so that I'm going to flip this too. So now all the stripes are going the other way. All right, so I've heat set these and let them kind of dry a little bit. Now I'm going to play with this stuff. So one of the fun things you can do with the inks, and I'm going to play with all three of the colors, I've got Zest, Foam Book, and Jack-O-Lantern, is you can kind of smash them down onto your craft mat, and then in here I've got alcohol. You could use water, but I like alcohol a little bit better. And it turns it into a watercolor, which you then can go on to and paint with. Pretty fun. And it just adds another element of a color. You can mix them, you can match them. So I'm going to go through and kind of add some color. I don't know if I'm going to be able to add a whole lot to the ones that are craft, but I might also ink the outsides, actually taking, so for instance, maybe taking the Foam Book. Get this wet first. It will dry up a little bit, not too bad, but just a tiny bit. So I could take another ink, go around the outside and just even make it more. So I'm going to play with doing all these and then kind of deciding where I want to add them onto my ATCs and speed it up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this new stamp, and this one is called Scratch Background, and I'm basically going to take a little bit of black and then just add a layer of black over top just like that and do them a couple at a time. So I'm going to find my black, hiding in here, and just adding some black on there. It's not a ton, it's just putting a little bit more color and adding some more texture. That's it. So now that I've gone through and inked all of them, I'm just going to take my Brutus Monroe glue and go ahead and glue down all the sentiments. If you didn't want to have to put on a sentiment on the front, if you just wanted to leave it blank and kind of fun to mix media, you're more than welcome to. I just wanted to add something fun. I'm almost debating with this guy taking it off, but now that I've added the glue, it's probably not the smartest idea. It would leave this funny space, so I'm leaving them. That's how they're going. Let them dry up the rest of the night. They're still a little bit tacky. There's still some spots where I kind of smeared, but that's cool. It just adds to the grunginess. All the supplies of what I've used in this project are listed down below in the video information section and also on my blog, so make sure you check that out. Thanks so much. Please subscribe. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.